Soft Living for Boss Baddies, Strategic Self-Care for Ambitious Executives is an ultimate guide for high-achieving women who want to crush their goals without crushing their souls. This game-changing book redefines what it means to be a baddie in the boardroom and beyond. Dive into the world of soft living and discover how to boost your productivity through strategic rest and recharge. Master the art of setting boundaries without apology. Cultivate emotional resilience for unshakable leadership, and create a personalized self-care checklist that actually works. Don't miss out on this essential read for ambitious executives ready to rewrite the rules of success. Soft Living for Boss Baddies is your blueprint for becoming a healthier, more resilient, and ultimately more successful leader.
Hey y'all, welcome to The Neighborhood, where we get all up in your business, talking about self, family, friends, and finances. This is not a conversation about romantic relationships because we are minding our own business. That's right, but trust and believe. Once we get that straight, the rest will follow. You know me. I'm your nosy neighbor, Inertia Justice. So go get your coffee, your sweet tea, or whatever it is you're sipping on these days, child, and let's chat. Today we'll be talking about soft living. And I know what you're thinking, neighbor. Child, what is soft living? Before we hop into it, you know how we do. Let's get a good working definition. Soft living is choosing ease, joy, and alignment with your true purpose. It's a lifestyle that encourages you to prioritize your well-being and create a sense of balance and fulfillment in your life. Wait a minute, neighbor. Before you turn me off and get to thinking, girl, I don't have time for that. I got work and all kind of other stuff to do. Soft living is not about being lazy or avoiding responsibilities. It's not about a posh life where you don't have to work. Soft living is the approach that you take on life, where you're being more intentional, you're setting boundaries, and you're focusing on what truly matters. Now, this concept of soft living actually originated in the Nigerian influencer community and has been spreading globally. It's a response to the hustle culture or the girl boss mentality that dominated the 2010s. And yet somehow, 15 years later, the burnout rate amongst all women is 44% and still climbing. Now, to get a practical understanding of soft living, let's just imagine waking up feeling refreshed, not rushed. Picture yourself making decisions based on how you feel, what you feel, and not what others expect. That's the essence of soft living. It's about simplifying your approach to life and prioritizing your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. One of the precursors to soft living is pacing, which is a response to the fast-paced, always-on culture that we live in today. Soft living encourages you to be more present and mindful and intentional in your everyday life. It's about savoring moments, focusing on quality over quantity, and fostering a deeper connection with yourself, with others, and your environment. Another significant influence of soft living is self-care. Neighbor, I know all of these concepts you are already familiar with from other episodes, but we're going to review it here just to make sure that we're on the same page. And for too long, you were taught that taking care of yourself or focusing on yourself was selfish and self-indulgent. But neighbor, we've talked about this before. You can't pour from an empty cup. Love has to be in to go out. If you don't have love inside yourself or for yourself, you cannot show it to or for others. Soft living involves mindfulness, to be fully present in the moment and aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment, which we've also talked about before. Okay, neighbor, you got me. All of our previous episodes were designed to get us to this particular season, because somewhere along the line, the words pretty, girly, feminine, and yes, soft became bad words. Like, so bad that they had to be placed in a closet and locked away behind productive, ambitious, and independent. But the problem is, I don't know how that happened, because they are not the same. So I don't know why pretty was exchanged for being independent and why being soft was replaced by being productive. Like they can't exist in the same space. Well, I don't know if you guys remember, but this podcast was birthed at the onset of the pandemic. And I don't know about you, but I felt like this was a great time to refocus, reflect, and regroup. What I'd been seeing in the world was women were crashing out and burning because during the pandemic, the realization struck that outside of work, there was no other people in their lives, no friends, no family. So now the house is clean and core values of soft living have been discussed. And it's time to take the weight of the world off your shoulders, neighbor. It's time to slow the hustle and being productive down and to turn off for a few moments a day to recenter yourself. This season is about you getting back to your softer, more nurturing qualities and focusing on how to use these core principles to relieve the pressure of insatiable ambition and relentless striving. I get it. For many of my neighbors, unforeseeable circumstances may have forced you to prioritize your career or your family or other obligations over making room to nurture your feminine essence. That part of you that embraces softness, intuition, creativity, and emotional expression. And the core issue with that, or the core issue with striving to be strong and capable, depending on which generation you're in, you may have knowingly or unknowingly suppressed your softer side. And neighbor, let me be clear, this is not an attack. I'm saying that as necessary as it may have been or seemed, or as liberating as it may have sounded or felt at the time, this suppression separated you from your feminine essence, better known as your woman's intuition, your creativity, your emotional depth, which can manifest itself in chronic stress, feelings of burnout, and a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction. You might notice that you're struggling to express your emotions, that you're feeling disconnected from your intuition, or that you lack the joy that once filled your life. If you're feeling this chronic stress and burnout and pervasive sense of dissatisfaction, just raise your hand. Okay, well, if you raised your hand, then it's time to put to use the principles of soft living. I'm telling you now, neighbor, if you don't take this step to address this imbalance, the consequences can be significant. Ignoring your need for emotional expression and self-care can lead to deeper feelings of isolation, anxiety, and even physical issues. Your relationships might suffer, which you may have noticed that your relationships are suffering now, but you're giving it an excuse like, I'm busy, my schedule won't allow me to hang out, or there's a lack of interest on your side or theirs. You know we keep it real here, neighbor. If you are on all the time and feeling like you can't be vulnerable with anyone because of your image or your reputation or closer to the truth, you forgot how, or you lack the ability to be vulnerable, which has created barriers between you and the ones that you love. You may find it challenging to embrace opportunities for joy or creativity, which is causing your life to feel unfulfilled and monotonous. Now, consider what this disconnect is costing you, not just in terms of emotional well-being, but also in the richness of life experiences. The joy of authentic connections, the freedom of expressing your true self, the creative energy that fuels your passions are all at stake. Each day that you remain disconnected is a day that you miss out on living your authentic life. Now be honest, neighbor. When was the last time you felt joy? Not accomplishment, not success, but joy. If you really have to think about it, text JOY to 832-978-7782. Well, there it is, neighbor. I want to thank you for joining me this week.
taking this time. The neighborhood is better because you're in it. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast, that you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Yo Nosey Neighbor. If you love the show, leave comments so I can continue to bring you more content. You know I love you more.